2005, wasn't it? April 2005.
In April 2005. So, as I said, the relationship, was falling apart. So I went and stayed at my mum's for a couple of weeks. And then I'm out again with my mates as normal. And then I get a phone call from a friend of mine saying, your partner's been attacked in your home. So obviously immediately we all jump in the car and I drive back to my flat. I go in and there's a mess everywhere and other girls have been attacked and stuff like that. And there's a friend of mine actually who was there as well. He'd been knocked clean out. And my partner had a claw hammer mark in the front of her head there.
Yeah. A claw hammer
mark, yeah. So she dropped on the door. 3 people stood there, balaclavas on, someone hit her in the forehead. I thought, wow. Apparently they were shouting, where's the $5,000, where's the drugs or something. So I thought, well, we don't sell drugs. Maybe some drug dealers, someone gone around to attack some drug dealers and got the wrong gaff,
Yeah.
Obviously what's happened, yeah. But she said she thought she knew the person who it was.
She recognised.
Yeah, she recognised. All his face covering it. This guy was local to us anyway, and she even asked him, is it you? And he said, no. But I said, no, why would he do that? We don't, he knows I don't drug deal anyway.
It's just a decoy, that's just a...
Yeah, so... But anyway, I was really sceptical and stuff like that. And I actually saw him the next day as well when I went round to tidy up. And I said, "Do you hear anything last night?" Because his partner had moved in next door while I'd been away. That's how this person had suddenly, been next door. And he was like, no. I said, "But if you have any more trouble, give me a shout." I thought, okay, cool, mate, all right.
Appreciate that, yeah.
Yeah. So I went and I said to her last, she went, it's him. I went, oh, God, it's how calm he was. He's like, no chance. Anyway, I didn't believe it. And then, obviously, it's not relevant to this podcast, but other bits of information started to come out. People started saying, look, I heard him say this the other night, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And it was clear that, whoever had gone into the flat had not searched anywhere. And funny enough, they targeted the stereo. The only thing that was smashed was the stereo. They'd not searched anywhere. And when he left, he said, "You've got 1 week to get out, I'm going to kill you." I thought, why would you say that if it was like, if you're
coming to take drugs and money?
Yeah, and why would you smash the stereo and not look anywhere? So, turns out, his partner, who just moved in, was complaining to him. This is alleged, by the way, because it wasn't proven in court. So it turned out that she'd been complaining to him. The girl next door has been playing music. She'd play music because we'd just split up and she's having her friends around and God knows what else.
Having a drink and whatever, yeah.
And I thought, well, that seems a bit extreme, even to react like that. But this person had just been released actually for attacking another woman. He was given 18 months for breaking the jaw of a woman, and then he just got off on attempt murder for attacking a 63-year-old prostitute as well in Hull Town Centre, which was a big case. So potentially there's some connection there with like the MO, or in terms of his capacity for using extreme levels of violence towards women for relatively nothing. But lots of other stuff came forward, and like I say, it wasn't proven in court. But me being me, once I'd established, I thought, yeah, I know it's him, yeah.
Plus, your missus has been attacked, with a claw hammer and stuff like that. You're going to be angry. You're going to get to the bottom of it.
I was angry. And do you know what? Looking back now, most people would be very angry. Most people would just ring the police and let them deal with it. But of course, she did ring the police. She did a thing. Police were really poor, didn't arrest him, anything like that. They knew he was MO. They knew, what he was like, and they knew he was a really dangerous man because he sent himself in the local press. They said this man is a very dangerous man. Yeah, when he got off on the attempt murder,
it was publicised.
Yeah, publicised. Yeah, very clear about it. Yeah, it was publicised. So they knew that. And oddly enough, they'd not gone to arrest him. So 9 days later, I'm out again with my mates. I'm drinking all weekend, and I said to my mate, "Do you want to go there for last orders?" And I was at work the next day. I went, "Where the next day?" He went, "Come on." He said, "Just one more." I went, "Oh, come on then." I thought, one more water.
It's always the last one, isn't it?
One more water. So we go to this pub. I'm actually banned from the pub, believe it or not, because I got into a fight a few weeks before. But I thought, well, let's go anyway. Yeah. And so I'm outside the pub, and my mate, one of my mates, he stood outside. He went, "Steve," he said, "I've been trying to call you," and he's in there. So straight away, like,
your adrenaline starts.
Yeah, because I'm not drunk. I've been out all weekend. I mean, I'd got in about 2 or 3 that morning as well, so I'd been on the coke. So the next day I'd been drinking. I wasn't exactly pissed or legless, but I was like, you were there on that level. I was on that level, and I was angry, and then immediately my mate called my other friends. I said, get the lads, and I'll wait. I thought I won't go in because the pub was packed out, you see, because a football team had just won the football, so it was chocker, big karaoke.
All out on the ale.
I thought if I go in there now, it's just going to go mad, right? So I thought let's wait outside. Obviously, at some point he came out. I think he was attacking somebody, he was dragging him out by the feet.
He was attacking somebody.
Yeah, attacking somebody. And so me, I just raced across to him, and
did you give him? Yeah.
And then, of course, he saw me coming and turned to face me, and then we had this moment, exchange a few words, and he ran. So I just chased him. And then he was getting away from me, actually. And then my best mate drove around the corner in his van, sped up to him. I just thought it was another car coming, but I moved out of the way and it was him in the van. Boom, he's hit him, he's knocked him on the floor. He's now Sparko. I've just jumped on top of him straight away, punched him in the face.
Yeah.
And just in a sort of bit of a rage, and then we just, my mate gets out and we just kick him all over the place, and just clearly it was just too many kicks, yeah. So I sort of shot off after that, and then I come back a bit later on because I thought I need to make sure he's all right. He didn't look very good, yeah. So I'm hidden the bush.
Hidden the bushes, wasn't he?
My mate's walking past, and I said, "What's going on?" He said, "Steve is dead. I think he's dead." So anyway, to cut a long story short, I shoot off to my mates, and I stay at my mates for the night. Wake up the next morning and put the radio on, and
it's confirmed.
It's confirmed, yeah, man killed with a hammer, believe it or not, and there was no hammer involved as well. But I thought, wow, what hammer? What's going on here? So yeah, next thing you know, I'm now wanted, clearly, because it's obviously me.
Steve, when you're on your, like say, you're not on your toe, well you are basically, but when you hear that radio say, man, they've confirmed and whatever, and
yeah.
I can't, that feeling you must be, and then obviously when they're saying about a hammer, and there's no hammer involved, it was obviously,
yeah,
there was no weapons used. How are you feeling at that time? Obviously, when you hear that.
Well, I mean, you just know immediately, like your whole life has changed forever. There's no getting around it, and it's just this instant thing, because wherever you are in the world, the authorities are coming to get you, and they will get you at some point, and you just know there's no possible.
Did you think about getting off on your toes and that, or?
Well, self-preservation is a powerful thing. So I said to my mate, right, I said, look, just say we want there, yeah? Impossible, 30 odd witnesses there, even more, right? All of them know me as well. But he just went, yeah. So that, we set off straight away, knocking on people's doors who were there. When you just say, I want there, say you never saw me, say you never saw me. It's like in the local community, everyone, people stick together, and some people go, oh no, don't come near my house, shut the door. But some people are really helpful. And so we was just stringing an alibi together. I said to my other mate, just tell him I left before the pub and I went home. I was like, ma'am, just tell him I came home at 9 o'clock. Just trying to build this alibi. And that, it was all self-preservation, really. It wasn't really criminal value. I mean, there's a bit in there, but you're just panicking because know you're going to prison for a long time, yeah? So, and I'll just say I want there, right? But then we got a phone call saying that my co-defendant, my best mate of 20 years, had been arrested. So I thought, well, it's my beef. And I said to my other mate, I said, look, I'll have myself in. Like, it's my beef, I'll just take on the chin, yeah?
That's the morals and values of a good person. Your mate's been nicked. You could have got off on your toes, could have been away for 6 months, could have been away for 12 months.
There's different ways I could have dealt with it.
You could have dealt with it, but the way you fronted it, and it all changes because it's madness, and it's just unbelievable what happens.
Yeah, it's so I end up. So anyway, next day I go and see my brief who I've known for years, and we put together a statement. And she said, look, because she actually represented my co-defendant in the. I don't know if I should say this because it might be. No, I won't say this because it's a legal thing. I can't put it in my book, so I can't say it. Yeah,
yeah, don't
sue me.
Don't get you don't need to say it. Don't worry.
Anyways, so what I did was we put together a statement. We said, well, let's do a no comment interview. Just outline your day, say what happened. So I just outlined the day. I said, look, this guy, I believe he attacked my partner. That night, went outside the pub. I said, he says, come out. I said, had a fight, kicked him, punched him. Said, no one else got involved. I said, I didn't mean to kill him, but I take responsibility for his death, yeah? All in the statement, I said, somebody fell over us because I heard that my co-defendant had said that his excuse was that he'd seen someone fighting and fell over them, yeah? So I put in my statement, someone fell over us. So then he's got an alibi, yeah? I didn't name him, I just said someone fell over us and put it in at the right moment, yeah? And then and that was it. I went around the corner, went to the cop station. A cop was waiting outside because my brief had called him. He stood outside. He went, Steve, welcome. I just shook his hand, smiled, and then we went, yeah? So essentially, I could have been, I was walking to a life sentence, yeah? But I was, and I'm going to be honest here, I didn't hand myself in because of any empathy towards the victim. It was purely those values that had been instilled in me since a kid about sticking by your mates at all costs. We all shared those values, yeah?
From a young
It
age.
was that, yeah, it was that. So I didn't even think anything about it, yeah. And it was that. So I didn't even think anything about it, yeah. And it was just normal for me. I just went in. So next day I'm remanded to Hull Prison. My code's in there, he's on remand. I said, look, don't worry. I said,
I want to take the...
yeah, I said, look, obviously, you know, I'll try and get a manslaughter. We'll try and get you off. Just stick by me, you know, work with me, and just, you know, we can do this, okay? So we can limit the impact on both of us. I said, if it goes tits up, I'll put my hands up to murder as well and try and get you off. I didn't know at the time that actually was both stuffed, yeah, because the evidence was just so overwhelming,
It
right?
was too much against the
Yeah,
pair
but,
of years.
you know, you've got to try something, right? Nobody wants to walk into a life sentence.
Of course they
Why
don't.
would you do it? I mean, mad, isn't it? Just to say, right, okay, yeah, give me life, you know? Because I didn't mean to kill the guy, and I thought, well, I didn't understand that actually there's two ways you can get done for murder in this country. One is an intention to kill, which that wasn't, but the other is an intention to cause serious bodily harm. And if they die as a result of that, it's still classed as murder. Okay?
Yeah.
And obviously, kicking someone and punching them and hitting the car. If that's not serious, but an intention to cause serious bodily harm, then what isn't? But I didn't really understand it at the time, and I thought, okay, let's try and work towards manslaughter because I said I didn't mean to do it. Blah blah blah.
But you didn't mean to do it because...
No, we didn't mean to do it, but that's not mean to kill someone. But we still intended to cause serious bodily harm. You know, and it was really difficult to argue.
Yeah.
But at the time, like I say, we didn't really understand that, and we thought, let's try and go for down this route. And he agreed. You know, he said no problem. But shortly after on remand, my co-defendant started to have like a serious sort of mental breakdown about the situation, and then someone on the wing said, "Oh, is your mate locked up because of you?" I said, "No." I said, "Well, yeah, he's telling everyone he's locked up because of you. You know, it's all your fault, and it's Steve's the cunt, and this and all this lot." And I thought, what? Anyway,
And this is your best mate of 20 odd
yeah,
years, isn't it?
Yeah. He was like sort of the I won't say our gang, but he was like the lead. He was the main man in our group, and always quite aggressive, quite violent, always arguing with people, always fighting. But we saw nothing wrong with that. You know, we was mates. You know,
You stuck together.
Yeah. I'd known him since I was 7 years old. We stuck together, and that's how it was. So it was just weird for me to sort of see this radical sort of psychological shift in his behaviour, and it was bizarre. But it was obvious he was struggling.
Did you went and had a chat with him, didn't you? Go and have a chat with him?
Yeah, we had a chat, and he was having none of it. He was like, "No, it's you."
Did he turn take on you?
He just said, "No." He said he just said, "Look, no, I only did this. I didn't do this. You know, I only kicked him in the balls once. That was it." And he clearly was in denial about the situation.
His head had fell off, hasn't it?
Yeah, and there was a kid who was like banged up with him, and he was saying, he said, "Fucking hell, your mate." He said, "Fucking hell, his head's up his ass." So I was, you know, it's like in prison, everyone tells each other stuff, but he was going around saying he's innocent. And some people were saying to me, "What, your mate's innocent? And why is he?" And you know, as if like it was all my fault or something. I thought, but I couldn't say nothing because I thought, well, I don't want to.
You don't want to say too much.
No, say too much because we've got this case ahead of us. So I thought, okay, we've still got a trial coming up at some point, so we're still going to work together. So you know, I need to manage this situation, and but it went too far. You know, like he was asking people outside to put statements in against me, and I thought, okay, cool, I can take this, but you've got to work with me, not against me. But it was going behind my back, and there was people. So one person put a statement in, and said all sorts of crazy stuff. Yeah, even more than what I'd done. I thought, well, hang on a minute, you're making it difficult for me now, yeah.
You're trying to put as much more on my toes.
Overemphasising everything. Yeah, it was just like bizarre, and it just went tits up. And anyways, I went back to the wing one day. This is about 5 weeks in, and someone said, "Oh, your mate." He said, "He's gone."
Shipped out?
Bail. No, he'd put 70 grand up and got bail.
Someone put 70 grand up for him.
Yeah, he got out. Yeah, his family. So, you know, all those years together, all that loyalty, and suddenly my mate, who I'd known all those years, was gone. But part of me was relief because he was a nightmare to be on the same wing with anyway, you know. And me, I was just a sort of staunch person. Even my lawyer said to me, "You can do the same because he's done it." I said, "No, I'll just stay."
Thanks for watching this clip. If you like what you see, click the link to watch the full episode and don't forget to subscribe.